Hey everybody, welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. As always, here on the channel, I'm Andrew Kavanaugh and I review 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays. Physical media is my thing here, as if you couldn't tell, and I appreciate you clicking on this video. Today, we are going to be talking about a new release. Actually, at the time of me recording this isn't out yet. It will be available September 9th, and that is Jurassic World Rebirth. This is the new entry in the Jurassic Park franchise, now the Jurassic World franchise, but it'll always be Jurassic Park to me. And this just came out in the theaters a few months ago, and here it is already out on 4K Ultra HD. This is the collector's edition. And it's kind of funny. I always find it funny when the 4K discs are marked as collector's editions, even though this is the standard release. There's also a steelbook of this. It has a different cover of Scarlett Johansson on the side of a rock wall. And this was sent out to me from Universal Home Entertainment and SDS, that's Studio Distribution Services. So a big thank you to those guys for sending this my way. I really appreciate it. Of course, anytime I get sent one of these for review, I always like to mention the fact that I am not being told to say anything particular about these releases. It's a product that's sent to me, and all I have to do is make some kind of online content about it. They don't care what I say about it, so just know that this review is my words and mine alone. As for the movie itself, I actually did get to see this in theaters, and I enjoyed it much better than the previous two Jurassic World entries, which I think were Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. You know, Dominion really was a big letdown for me because of the fact that they brought back all the original cast. They brought back Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, even the guy that played Dodson in the original. They really didn't do anything with these characters. It was a very strange film. And so when I heard that David Koepp was coming back to write this one and bring the franchise in a slightly different direction, I was very happy to hear that, because he's actually a really great writer and a pretty solid director as well. And this movie here, when I saw it, I had very, very low expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised. The movie really doesn't go in any kind of new direction, but it really did feel like a love letter to the original Jurassic Park films, which makes sense because David Koepp wrote the original and Lost World, which is probably my second favorite out of all of them. A lot of people don't like that one, but it's actually one that I'm very fond of. I like the darker tone, and Jeff Goldblum in that is just phenomenal. I really enjoy him in that movie. For this here, I liked the fact that we got all new characters. The story itself, even though the story really wasn't much, it was more of just an excuse to get people to go back to an island here. It was exciting, and I enjoyed the thrills I got out of this. It was way more entertaining than the previous two entries. The biggest thing to me, I would say, is probably the cinematography of this. The cinematography in this movie was phenomenal. John Matheson, it puts a lot of the previous Jurassic World entries to shame, and I love the fact that they really put a lot of visual flair into this movie. So today we're going to be talking about the picture quality, the audio quality, and the special features. So to jump right into the review here, the picture quality on this does come with Dolby Vision HDR. And I was glad to see that, because a lot of the other previous releases in the Jurassic World series did not have Dolby Vision. They got re-released recently in the Steelbook sets that have Dolby Vision. And I'm definitely going to want to pick those up because I've heard good things about them. But this being a new film, a basically brand new film, I wasn't expecting anything negative in the picture quality area. And thankfully, I wasn't let down here. Now, this movie was shot on 35mm. I think they actually used Kodak film for this. And I really love the fact that they shot this on film. They really made this thing look beautiful. And it does look beautiful in 4K. Because of the fact that they used film, the movie just has such a more lifelike look to it. And the digital effects throughout also look so much better in this than in the previous entry especially. I love the fact that the CGI dinosaurs, which again, they've been there since the beginning, but there's definitely been a lot more CGI in the more recent films. And in this one, I don't know what it is. They just look a lot better. And everything just blends in so well. And I love the look of the dinosaurs in this movie. And this 4K disc and that Dolby Vision HDR on it, the picture quality on this is stupendous. I really, really loved it. That Dolby Vision HDR really lends to some really beautiful daylight sequences. The movie gets fairly bright on and off throughout the film, and the water sequences near the beginning of the film just look incredible. Once the movie goes to the island and you see, some of the more exotic locales, the greens, the browns, the reds, especially the reds, everything just really jumps out at you, and it's just eye-poppingly beautiful. The black levels on this disc are also perfect. There is a pretty lengthy nighttime sequence kind of near the back end of the film, and that whole sequence is just awesome looking. The black levels on my LG OLED just were incredible, and everything had really great detail. It's sharp as a tack, although it keeps its filmic look all throughout. And there is a very fine layer of grain from start to finish on this. The film grain is almost negligible. I mean, you can almost not even make it out, but it's there, and I really love the fact that this movie had a very layered, textured, and yet very, very detailed look to it. Very, very good stuff in terms of picture quality on this. And of course, you do get to look at Scarlett Johansson for almost 2.5 hours, so that's not too bad either. Sorry, honey. In terms of audio quality, this also comes with a Dolby Atmos sound mix, and boy, that Atmos track is beefy. The dialogue is crystal clear, it's very well placed, but the big winner in this is the sound effects. The sound effects are wild in this, and you kind of come to expect certain sound effects with these Jurassic movies. You're going to hear the big footsteps, you're going to hear, T-Rexes roaring and other dinosaurs making different screeches and sounds and things like that. But this one is a real knockout, and the sound effects, ambient sounds of the jungle, helicopters flying overhead, and those overheads are used a few times in this. It is truly an atmospheric soundtrack. It really earns the name. It's also really loud at times, and normally with these Dolby Atmos tracks, I have to turn it up. At certain points, I actually had to turn it down on this one. They did a really good job with this mix. The music as well sounded outstanding. Now, even though John Williams did not do the score for this, the original Jurassic Park theme does get its fair share of plays in this film, and boy, does it just sound outstanding. The bass on this audio track was also very, very impressive. When those dinosaurs start moving, especially the big ones, you'll feel them, and it does really sound like there's some dinosaurs kind of hanging out in your living room. It's a really, really good soundtrack on this one. Now, as for special features, there's quite a few of them on here. There's actually a multi-part making-of documentary that's included in this, and even though it just kind of seems like it's a bunch of slightly lengthier featurettes kind of looped in together, it works, and I do like seeing some of the behind-the-scenes footage. I thought some of the insights and how they shot this film were actually pretty fascinating. There's one scene in particular where the cast is wading through like waist-deep water, and they actually did this in a real location, so God bless them for that. They show the fact that they put one of these 35mm cameras on like a surfboard and just kind of surfed it right on the surface of the water. And it's just genius. Very, very simple, but it's that kind of filmmaking I really love seeing. There's also a bunch of deleted scenes. There's a featurette about the actors that have characters that get eaten by dinosaurs in this. That's kind of funny. The funniest of all the featurettes on here, though, is definitely the one that features Dolores, which is a little baby dinosaur that's featured in the movie. And it's such a funny little mockumentary, and they have interviews with the cast, and they just talk about what a professional that Dolores was on the set. And it's cute. It's really cute. There's also another really cute featurette that stars the little girl that's in the film. She actually does a really good job in this, and she visits the different parts of Skywalker Sound where they actually did a lot of the sound effects and overdubbing and Foley stuff for this movie, because you really get a handle on how they did some of those effects, and it's not really something that gets talked about a lot, but it was nice to see that. And the one letdown with this disc was there was a very highly advertised alternate opening on this, and that was the biggest waste of time ever. It's an unfinished opening sequence, and it's really not much different from the one that's in the movie, besides the fact that they show some trees being knocked down by this big machine. It's kind of dumb. I really didn't care for that. But everything else I thought was pretty nice, and I like the fact that you actually got some real behind-the-scenes footage in that. All in all, I really loved this release of Jurassic Park Rebirth. The movie looked phenomenal. It sounded incredible. It's a real workout for your home theater, so I recommend it. Whether or not you like the film, that remains to be seen. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews for this. Some fans of the series really enjoyed it. Some really hated it. I'm more on the positive side. I didn't think it was the best in the series, but I did enjoy it, and I definitely put it above the last couple ones in this franchise. So if you want to pick up Jurassic World Rebirth, I'll leave a link in the description below that goes to Amazon. You can use that link, and it does help me out here on the channel just a little bit. If you really want to help me out here and you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel down below so I can bring you more videos like this. That's all for today for Kavanaugh's Corner. I just want to say thank you so very much for watching this video, making it all the way to the end. I wish you guys all the very best. Until next time, stay safe, keep collecting, and take it easy.